And we are back for the first time in like forever. What happened?
I don't know. Don't ask
I blame
me.
you.
Me?
I back out a lot.
I'm
free
free
this
a few
week.
times as well.
I'm free this weekend. I'm busy that day.
Listen, we didn't have as much to talk about. We were just waiting. We wanted to build up of all the crazy stuff that happened in Farm Sim in the last like month and a bit. We wanted to have it all accumulated into one. Cumulated?
Yep, that's the word. I mean, not in this universe, but it is the right word somewhere.
Sure. We just wanted everything together all at once and not just trickle feed stuff out anymore. That's all. It's time to drink from the fire hose.
Okay. The fire hose. That sounds dangerous.
Just got like the worst. As soon as you said the word trickle, I was like, the drink from the fire hose. I'm just imagining a meme where somebody's like, oh.
You've seen that meme, I think, haven't you? Yeah. Yeah, we all know what we're talking about. So we've got Kerminator from Giants Software. He is the North American Community Manager.
Yeah, that'll work.
Manager, right?
It's coordinator, but it doesn't matter. These
Manager,
are just words that
coordinator.
mean the same things.
I think manager sound. Well, does coordinator sound more prestigious or manager? Regardless of which, we have Kerminator live with us today. He's going to tell us all the stuff we want to know about Farm Sim 25. Of course, over on my right side, we have Mr. DJ Goham. Oh,
now he's on your.
That's awkward. That is awkward.
What's happening? You know me. I'm gonna be annoying. Be ready.
Be ready for it.
Yo, real quick.
Yeah.
Look at that shirt you got on right now. You see that shirt you got on right now? Show everybody that. AF11, Axel Flow.
Nice. Let's see your shirt now, DJ.
Yo, this shirt's so good.
Just don't touch the buttons. Don't touch the buttons.
Touch my buttons. They're in the wrong spot anyway. It wouldn't work.
I was actually really surprised that Case had shirts that said "Game On" them with like the controller buttons. And then all of you gamers came in there. I was like, it's almost like you guys planned this.
Did they? Do you know if they did or not? Because I mean, these shirts were like prime, and they were in bags ready to go.
Then maybe they did. I know that they were super excited that all of you guys were coming because it's part of their efforts going forward that they wanted to reach gamers that play Farm Sim, to really grow their brand with a younger audience. So they're embracing it. I mean, they were fantastic to work with through the entire like planning of the event. Like, couldn't have gone easier for us, and the amount of like machines they provided and the activities that they had on site was above and beyond. It was amazing.
For sure, that was awesome. I mean, I think we all managed to even drive one of the F11s. Like, there was a quad track there.
7250.
7250, yeah.
7250 was the combine, yeah.
They had all their pieces of equipment basically that were from the area there. It was a lot of fun, actually. It was good times.
That was more than like we've never done anything of that scale. Like even FarmCon, it's like what, DJ, like 2 machines are out there. It's like usually the same thing.
Yep, 2 or 3 machines. You drive in a circle. You know, Fent had a track. Toys Far had a track. John Deere said, no, you don't get to drive anything.
John Deere are like downtown Mannheim, to be fair. Like, you're in the middle of the city. They're not going to let you guys loose in the city.
No. The only thing that I could really equate it to was Volvo. And at Volvo, I mean, we had, a 6-wheeled rock truck. We had those massive dump trucks that cost like $4 million or more. We were driving wheel loaders and log loaders and stuff like that. And there's no track. It's just, jump in, have some fun.
Right.
That kind of thing. And that's what Case did for us. I even got to drive a New Holland. I was so happy. I was like, the blue one.
Yeah, they said, should we have some blue out there? And I was like, definitely. I mean,
and
same parent company. And
Case, is it construction or whatever? Like the dark brown Case?
The construction equipment.
Dude.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we've already lost him.
I know. It's not even live show today. We've lost him. I do have to give him shots, though. I was going to ask him, since he's bringing out the backhoe. How did you do in the operation of the backhoe, the little challenge they had set up, DJ?
I sucked. But so this was a toy that I had when I was little, okay? And my grandmother gave it to me a couple years ago because it's just been sitting in the closet. I think I got this when I was 2 or 3 years old. It's a case.
That's amazing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's a little older than the model we got to mess around with, but nonetheless.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar-ish.
Luis from Connect Modding, though, a freaking maestro with that backhoe. Apparently, he killed it. I think he was 4 out of 4.
Oh wow! I only got 1.
I was 3 for 3. I don't want to talk about what happened to the other one. There were 4. Where there's 2 balls, you got to do it twice. At least I did. I missed the first 2. Bad. The third one blew away in the wind. I didn't touch it. It blew away in the wind, and I will stand by that. And then I missed the 4th one.
All right.
Would I have gotten the 3rd one? No.
You know what? You could use that as an argument, I guess.
The guy too. I was like, you saw that, right? The wind blew that away. He's like, you're a little close. I was like, no, the wind blew that. It was so much fun. All right, there's one thing, because we've got Kermit here for a very specific reason, and by we I mean me, and by me I mean me, I guess. I don't know what I mean actually. What were we talking about? No, so I had some jittering and skirting in my video that I recorded. A lot of that was on me, but there was still a little bit that, the game, the cache wasn't filled up. We played first thing in the morning. Nobody played on the computers we played on yet.
Yeah.
And also there were a couple machines that there were features not working. And I was wondering if you could address some of that to ease the tension that may be building up inside.
Well, I mean, first of all, like, people will not believe this, but you invited me to be on the show because of these issues. It's not the other way around. I saw a comment even in your Riverbend Springs video that said, "I'm surprised Giants let you post this because of the quality of it." But that's not what we do. Like, yeah, is it ideal for us that like the video came out and it wasn't in the best quality? No, but like being in a live environment like that, taking DJ and his ADHD brain out of his own environment and putting him into like a brand new one and saying, here, you've got 15 minutes to get ready to record. And the more time you spend setting up, the less time you get to actually play the game.
Yeah. And so I made one Carol. Oh no, did he freeze?
And Klutch even said, like, Klutch, you didn't really have many technical issues, but you had issues just figuring out what to do because there was no like guidance on, hey, this feature, that feature, and so on. I think it's important, like, to remember, first of all, that like this is the first event like this that we've ever done from the U.S. office. Like Nicholas and myself, who were the 2 U.S. office guys, we executed this from, it started as an idea in my brain back in like first part of the year. Hey, I would like to talk about doing an influencer event. And then it naturally went to Case is the cover machine in North America. Would they be interested? And then we just started this whole thing and we're able to execute it. So for one, we don't have our own equipment. We loaned the equipment. Every PC was different that Origin sent us. Corsair and Origin and Elgato sent us the stuff for the event, which was awesome. But yeah, because of that environment, we got the machines set up the day before the event. They're, even for us, they're not machines that we know well. We don't know how they're set up. They came basically with a fresh install of Windows, and we slapped OBS and FarmSim 25 into it, set the 2 buttons up on the Stream Deck, and that was it. That's all we had time for.
Yep.
And DJ came in with his laptop and, more equipment than others. Yep. And DJ, I think you found that you made a mistake on your end.
I've admitted this already. I made a comment. I don't know if I said exactly what the problem was because I didn't exactly know what it was at the time. But I selected software encoding instead of hardware encoding. There have been a couple of people who've been like, it's because you used an iMac or a Mac. No, that Mac's great. I use Mac every day. It was software versus hardware. If you have hardware encoding, use hardware encoding. If you have software encoding, it's going to lag near the end of the clip if it's a long clip. And guess what? I had long clips and it started to lag at the end. There were some clips where it lagged at the beginning. That was not me. That was the game.
That was the cache, right?
Yeah, the cache at the beginning for sure. But going back to what you said about like machines being set up for certain things as well, like it's actually really, this is my second full like PC and console like launch, right? But of course, when I joined 22, it had already been announced. We had FarmCon like 2 weeks after I joined the company for telling about most of the stuff for 22. Yeah. The cycle for 22 went completely different though, because maybe partially because like lockdown was still kind of a thing with the pandemic, but like everything seemed, I'm trying to put this in the right way. Like everything seemed to be like tracking in a different way. Whereas with 25, like we're still working on the game like today, trying to put some finishing touches on it. This is how development always goes. But like there's a few minor ends and there's things that we've not even shown you guys yet that I think are going to be features that people have really been asking for, that it's going to blow minds. And no, I won't tell you.
And what were those again?
Nice
I missed
try.
it the first time that you said it.
We haven't told you yet. But so for this cycle, everyone was super busy. So we threw this build together. We requested it maybe like 2 to 3 months ago, right? We knew we were going to do this event, but then we had Gamescom. And then we had the Tokyo Game Show. We had PAX in between that. So the build that you guys played was it was a modified version of the Gamescom build for the US map, and then a modified version of the Tokyo Game Show for the Asian map, and with some extra case equipment added in for our purposes of where we were. Yeah. And the GPS menu, of course, was updated from what you saw at PAX. Yes. Ground deformation was like being shown off a lot more in this build too, but the backbone of the build you guys played was modified from those two. So the US map really originally was set up dating back to like early August, getting ready for Gamescom. And then the Asian map was set up about like 6 weeks ago. So both of these builds were finalized about 5 to 6 weeks ago. And I know people have made comments like, oh, they're lying. They always say that or whatever. But the truth of the matter is we have to have a build and know that it's in a state where we can show it off. And yeah, of course, it's still not perfect. It's a preview build, but we also have to be able to continue development in the background away from that build at the same time. So you create this separate branch so that we have access to the build. And then you continue on with the rest of the work. So like there's going to be changes still. And I think the most important thing to remember is that the only way really that we could have solved the issue of potential technical difficulties at a live event like this was just to not have it. Yeah. Like we're taking you guys out of your environment, early access in a few weeks when you guys get it, like you'll be in your environment. And if the game's looking bad, it's 100% your fault. Right. Yeah. So
it definitely will be, because I just got new computer parts to rebuild my stream PC. So I got no excuse now.
Right.
I know.
All right, well, moving away from the actual preview event, I do have a quick question for you. If it was an actual strategic effort you're aware of from Giant's side on the way information has been released in Farm Sim 25, I find it's been so different compared to previous games, where like Farm Sim 22, 19, seems like right like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the game was launched, all of a sudden everything comes out right then. It's like, oh, we got all these new crops, we got new animals, whatever it might be. This is the equipment we're getting. It's going to be great. It seems like Farm Sim 25 this time around, we had a small trickle back, obviously in the spring. We get the release of the trailer, and then like once a month, there's like a slow trickle of new information that gets released all summer long. I'm just wondering if you could talk maybe a little bit about the strategy to that style versus, was that like a conceded, like a thought process that you guys have been doing?
I mean, I think that's just completely born out of self-publishing for the first time with 22 and learning the lessons from that and having full control over how we were going to market it. We had meetings at the beginning of this year that basically determined how we were going to market it. And things were said like, we need to have the information coming out more steady. We need to be a little bit more lighthearted with our messaging, try to reach more of an international audience. Like Giants is very aware that the game is no longer, specific to one region of the world like it used to be. And we've been around for 15 years, and it's taken us up until the point where we could self-publish to really start to enact those changes because we have full control. And I think with 22, it was always going to be, all right, throw this out here. We'll learn from everything, right? Like you didn't know exactly what to expect, but we learned from that and said, like, for example, we want to be more transparent with the season pass roadmap. We want to be a little bit less cryptic in how we're even sharing that information. Mm-hmm. And then we also, for 22, I think we announced that 22 is coming out somewhere in the spring.
Yep.
But we didn't have pre-orders available until
April 22nd, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense. but then we didn't have pre-orders available until like FarmCon or so, somewhere around there.
Yep.
So that was another thing we learned. Like, we don't want to announce the game and not have pre-orders ready. So like, people were getting antsy at the beginning of the year saying like, hey, you announced 22 at this time, of the year last time. But we were thinking like, we have to have the pre-orders ready as much as possible, because we want to drive the messaging to keep people interested.
And
so it has been a concerted effort. What'd you say, DJ?
There were a ton of pre-orders day one.
Yeah.
There was, and there's been even more since the event this weekend. We saw a spike in that. So like, this is the reason we do these types of events, as of course to get the messaging out. But for me as well, this being the first time we've done this in the US, it was also a big moment for us to just show you guys some hospitality. Like, of course, DJ's been to FarmCon, Klutch, you've done the Kubota thing, but like, we've never really been able to gather like the top English speaking creators together, get the community together. And that's really a signal that, we're going to hopefully start doing more post the launch of 25 out of the US office, and really continue to get the community together across the world as much as possible.
Yeah.
We have things that we're working on and plans for that. But yeah,
it was epic.
But the problem now, Klutch, is that like, we've done this slow trickle of information like you're talking about. Now we're running out of time, and there's one or two things that we may not even announce. We may just let you guys in early access be like, oh my God, what the heck is this? Because
Wait, like, what would one of those things be, Kermit?
Just make a just have Dennis put together a little mini blog and be like, here's the things we didn't have time to tell you about. Have fun.
Yeah, we could do that, but part of us is it would be exciting as well for people to experience it within the game, and that's been the case. Like, third person was confirmed without really any fanfare behind it, because like, it's like, how do you write an entire blog on just going third person?
I got you.
He should have what he should have done is written the blog in third person, like the text.
Oh,
to announce third person.
So would it sound something like this?
In a world.
And then DJ started working on the blog. But what he didn't do was write a script.
Pretty much.
I thought for sure you'd have like the movie announcer voice. In a world where FarmSim goes third person.
In a world where DJ does third person, but accidentally screws it up and wrote first person on the announcement.
Now he sounds more like the South Park movie announcement guy than the regular one.
I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the first things I tried to do as soon as we got into the demo, that beta build. I'm like, oh, can we go third person? Yeah. No. All right.
Y'all, do you remember seeing the announcement that I made of third person? And I was like, first person's confirmed.
No, I missed it.
I still have the thumbnail. I saved it just so I remember not to do that again. I actually had somebody message me. They're like, hey, this is first person? Yeah, I think you mean third person. I was like, I do mean that.
Perfect.
Anyway. The event was good, man. I mean, we went in, like, there was fanfare to this event. Like, we were on a party bus going from the hotel, all riding together. Everybody had their cameras doing little vlogs on the bus, which was so cool. Little lights everywhere. I need to get my video out. And then when we got there, like, Case was there to clapping when we got off the bus. The Case camera guy was around doing vlog stuff. We went in, everybody's like clapping and saying, hey, all the people that work at Case were inside too. We went in like this theater room, did this full presentation, got to like everyone was introduced. Everyone. I forgot everybody's names. I'm so sorry. and then we split up into our groups, and it was like just this epic thing. And there was no sitting down, just be like, well, this is fun. Yeah. What are we doing today?
I know you made the comment that you were like, I usually would film so much, but I just hung out and talked to people.
Dog.
And like, I was fine with that though. For me to see how you guys were all content creators that were there, but it really just felt more like a community meetup for the game where some people were recording, basically. Like a private community meetup. It was so cool, the vibe that everyone brought. And it was the coolest thing I've gotten to do in my time at Giants. I took extra ownership over it being a U.S. office specific thing, because of course that's what I was hired for, was to be the representative for North America. So yeah, we had some international guys too, but I consider them all part of the English speaking community. We're like worldwide basically at this point. So
yeah. Well, and this group as well. I mean, this is the group that gets together for, FarmCon every year and Llama and and was PAX last year. Not so much this year, but PAX last year. There's a core group of us, and it's so much fun seeing so many other people being introduced in that group. We've seen Luis twice in like 4 months, and he lives in Brazil.
And he had never taken a trip, like international trip, before the FarmCon trip. And then when I got to meet him at FarmCon, I was like, I want you there because he's already been doing great work with Case IH in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a natural fit for him to join us in the US because, who knows what that could lead to, right? So Connect Modding are doing great things, and it would have been nice to have their whole team, but at least we had Louise there to represent them because, I may be the US office guy, but, I got to deal with these Canadians up north and everyone else down south too, because I'm basically got the whole Western hemisphere at this point until Giants decides to expand into South America.
Western hemisphere? Did I just hear that say?
Yeah, you like using that one too.
Oh, it's such a good
You can't say it anymore though.
No, okay, well, fine. First gold partner in the Western hemisphere.
There you
how you like that, Farmer Cop? Look at me, I'm Farmer Cop. I buy a bunch of giveaways. Oh, I'm gold. How did that happen? Nobody clip that.
Well, he's probably
Stop resisting, DJ. Stop resisting.
Yeah. But it was a super duper cool event. One of the things that I liked the most was I got to meet these people who either I didn't know.
Yep.
So, you had was it Ultrasaurus and Sparks that had come in. I had no idea who they were. Got to meet Misty. Got to meet Tony. I didn't even know it was Tony. I was like, "Who's the old dude over there?" That's
I had no idea. Tony's he caught me off guard as well. Same thing.
Yeah.
Poor Tony.
He's so small.
He's the average height of a U.S. Male, though, he likes to say.
A U.S. male Twitch streamer. That drops at another foot. It was super awesome to meet everybody, get to hang out with them, and I will admit that like when me and Klutch get around each other, or me and Farmer Cop, it gets a little clicky, But is also Klutch is one of my best friends, has been for a long, long time, and I've met him now. Trace.
Is that it? 3 times? Is that it?
3 times, and it's all been in the past year and a half.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you would, do more stuff, that'd be super cool. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Yep, just got to start traveling to Europe more.
Tell you what, Giants. How's that? How those flight bills coming along?
Yeah. Man, it would be so nice if Giants, helped with some of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, that was a great segue. Thanks for picking up on that.
I'm tired of these comments that I see that say like we're giving you top YouTubers paychecks, and that's why you never speak out against us. DJ and Klutch would love it if we gave them paychecks. This isn't how this works, though. You guys are both partners, so of course you can get a payout based off of the revenue of your affiliate code that's being used.
I've never collected one yet.
Yeah, but there's people like Klutch
DJ,
who haven't collected his yet. And then DJ, it's like YouTube is where you're making a living off of Farm Sim, not by selling copies of the game.
Dude, Giant Software is not even 1%. Like what the code is not even 1% of the overall income.
Right, and that you had built up like a pretty significant amount because you were similar to Klutch and others in that you had never taken a payment out, and then you took one out around the launch of 22, and you pretty much invested it right back into your community by doing giveaways and things like that.
Yep.
So like, yes, at the end of the day, Giants partners, like you guys still have freedom to say what you want. Like even if you're a gold partner or a silver partner, like you guys are, like it's not like we're controlling the messaging. Now, like there was an instance at PAX West where like you and Farmer Cop just had like free reign at the PCs and like
see what happened there was nobody gave us permission.
Yeah.
And I may have, tried to hide the laptop a little bit while I was doing some recordings.
I knew, but you're like, I'm putting a 45-minute video out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure we're ready for that yet.
Yeah,
this is designed to be like 10 to 15.
Yeah, 10 to 15 was cool. And what I did was not cool. But again, I didn't know where I was going.
But this is the only way that we get involved. Like it would not work if we were constantly telling, you guys what to do. In fact, like like Klutch was saying before we started, like that he didn't know what to do in the build at the event, and we could have and should have had a program guide, and we'll do that in the future. But then at the same time, like there's only so much that I want to tell you guys, even when you get a build, because I want you to create content in the way that you would. I want it to flow naturally, not feel completely manufactured. But yeah, there was, people were getting into machines in that build that weren't necessarily designed to show off the AI. And the build, it was set up specifically. Like at PAX West, we use the Gamescom build, and I have to teach someone coming in public Farm Sim in 10 minutes and show off all the new features that are in the build. Like that's not an easy thing to do. So you're constantly tabbing over, and you have it set up in order to say, okay, we're harvesting rice, we're planting rice. Now we're showing off GPS, which is coming to the game. We're showing off baby animals, and it's very scripted in that sort of an environment. But when we give it to you guys, we want it to be a little bit more like freedom there.
And that was great. That was perfectly fine. I agree. It's just, I think my comment was just when you get into a sandbox style game that Farm Sim essentially is, knowing it, you got an hour to look around and figure what you're going to show off and talk about, and there's stuff that's kind of already set up for you to some degree. You're like,
right,
okay, what do I want to show off exactly? What do I want to record? And you start doing stuff, and you realize, oh, that's not quite working the way I thought it was. I'm going to spend a little more time on this, and before you know it, an hour's gone. You're like, oh crap, I gotta get back to doing whatever the rest of my video here still, right? Like that was my only concern, I guess, and knowing that if we had maybe just a small, like I said, a small bit of information before going in, especially since we're on such a tight deadline for time, knowing kind of more about what we had to look at and what we should do, and maybe what we could not worry about because it's still being worked on or whatever, might have been a beneficial side of things, I guess.
The good news is like we've done this event now, and it went as flawlessly as it could have. I think for a first event of this nature, like I was really surprised, because I've worked other events where like events you typically prepare yourself for like something to go wrong, and like you have to adapt on the fly, and that didn't really happen this time around. Outside of now, we have seen that like there were some technical issues and things like that, but I was super happy with how the event came off. But the positive is that we did learn how we can improve in the future. So now that we've had this first event, who knows what the next one looks like. So we can go from that, take those learning experiences and the feedback from you guys. I'm going to send out a survey to all of the guests that you can fill out your feedback as well. So yeah, it's all about improving. That's what video game development is too. At the end of the day, it's always trying to improve and get better, especially when you do a series like ours where, we make Farming Simulator now on a 3-year cycle. It's always like trying to see how you can learn from the last one, how you can improve it for the next time, what you can add in that maybe didn't make it into the last version. There's stuff that probably were scrapped from this game that will be in the next one. That's just how game development goes. So, and no, I'm not telling you those either.
Any insight into what could have been scrapped, Kerm?
I won't even tell you guys what's still coming to 25, and you want what's coming to the next.
I'll take any information you can give me right now, brother.
Someone's going to go, Kermit, confirm the next Farm Sim and the Farm Sim show. The 25's not even out yet.
I mean, to be fair, I said that probably the next one would be Farm Sim 28, because first one was 2008, and there's no way you're not going to do a 20th anniversary. What are you going to do, a 21st anniversary or a 19th anniversary? Oh, great. Yeah. You can get a rental car, or
I have no comment on that at this time, other than yes, we have been doing 3 years recently. So, and like I know it's been tough for some of the content creators, the 3-year cycle.
No, just the 3rd year. That's been the tough one.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Just more DLCs year 3.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the game.
So tough when you're building another one, though, right? In the process, I get it.
Yeah. It's wild, honestly, how much throughout the year, because I've been there for the entire process now. It's wild to me. Like at the beginning of the year, we had a talk and we like decided like, hey, do we do this or we do that? It was basically like add more vehicles or do gameplay stuff. So you guys will get some vehicles like in the mod hub, and also free content updates again, because at the end of the day, we have to make a decision, right? And there was features that were thought that weren't going to be possible that did end up being possible. So that's just how these things go.
It's very cool.
and you got to be ready to react to that and to put out the best product you can. I think that, you know, it's been successful so far, and I'm excited. The next beat now will be you guys getting early access, and that'll be, other than maybe missing like the day one patch, it'll be near final product at that point, you know. So
as long as we get super epic slow-mo running animals again, I'm so cool with that. That was amazing. I almost didn't want to fill out a report for it. I was like, look at this.
That was so much fun.
It was the pig, wasn't it? I remember that video
in a multiplayer game. Running outside of the pen. It was great.
And then he had the chickens like slow motion Naruto running.
Yeah.
I like your imitations. Those are pretty good imitations going. You've been practicing.
Thanks. Yeah. What's another one you want to see?
I don't think that's appropriate for.
Yeah, let's move along.
What was I say? The goats, maybe?
So, moving on. Kerm, we've got a bunch of updates the last week or so. We got the new Neighbors preview, of course. Today was just actually day recording with the hand tools and bale consumable stuff. All got announced. Very cool stuff. New additions we didn't see coming in base game, that's for sure. Of all the
I didn't
stuff,
even know the hand tools was a thing until the blog came out.
I know. I was going to say, we were talking about that a little bit before the stream. Is there anything coming? Do you think there's anything that's coming that's going to rival anything we already know as far as like huge announcements? Or do you think it's like, okay, we've got the big announcement stuff, the rest is just going to be kind of add-ons? Or do you think there's some big stuff still that we can still talk about coming in the next week or week and a half, 2 weeks?
I mean, I know there's some stuff coming still. Like typically we still have the Asian map trailer, Huten Pantai trailer will come out.
Oh, so that is going to be a thing.
We
So that's
have the
an
garage
unannounced thing we know
trailer
about.
like we always put out.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that's
that's right.
still to come. But then there is one feature specifically that I'm thinking of that large portion of players will be very happy about.
Okay.
And that's the one I said earlier. I don't know if we're even going to announce it in our blog or if we just let you guys find it when you get early access. It's pretty sweet though.
Huh.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Any hints?
No, not any hints, but like I have to say, like, you know, people were saying at the event over the weekend, like a lot of this stuff was talked about in the community spotlight streams you did. And it's not the only way we gather feedback, of course, post launch of 22. We do it in other ways. But I think 25 really does show that we're listening to the players. And it's been an effort I've tried to do. Like a lot of these features that we're adding in are not like, they're not like, I don't know, massively, I don't even know how to put it. You know what I mean? A lot of them are like smaller quality of life things that the players have asked for a long time, like GPS being base game, like things like that, that people have asked. Yeah, of course. And like the weather events, that's something that was set on a spotlight, and of course, many other places. But it's really cool to see. Basically, I feel an impact on the job I've done since I joined Giants, because
I think those were the three things that I think I mentioned that I'd like to see were like crop destruction from weather events and special weather events, GPS for console players, of course, and ground deformation. Those were the three things that I was like, these are like the top of my list of things I want to see going forward.
Yeah.
And we've got the start of all three of them going in now, and who knows where it'll go from there. But I'm so happy to see all three of those things be added in as kind of something you can use or not if you decide not to. That's very cool.
And there's even, like I said, there's things that people wanted that, you know, had to be scrapped for whatever reason too. So like feedback is important. You may not see it in this version. You might see it in the next one. You might see it in another one down the road. Like it might not happen as quick as you would like, but keep giving the feedback. The more that we hear it from a larger group of players saying the same things, you know, constantly, then we realize how important it is to the fan base to get it added. So 25 for us visually, we feel like it's our first step into the AAA realm.
Okay.
Even just look at the box art and compare it to 22.
I've been, especially after playing last weekend, I've mentioned to quite a few people, I'm like, you know, this feels like the biggest leap that we've seen. And one of the big reasons that it doesn't look like the other farming games, you grab it, and if you just were in the game itself, didn't see the name, I would not guess that it's Farming Simulator. There's just so much that's different to it. The environments are different.
Hmm.
All the different features is like something you're like, Giants will never add this to the base game.
The backbone is there still, right? But yeah, I do
Yeah,
get what you
like
mean. Like,
the controls are the same, but everything feels so different. The equipment feels heavy. Like it really matters what you're driving on, like it does in real life. You can't just gun it across a gravel road.
right. And of course, like, at the end of the day, we're a business. We want to sell as many copies of the game as we can for obvious reasons. But the support that you guys give us is so massive. Like, just being a fan of the game over the years and buying the game, like, you're directly responsible for the growth of it. And so I get why people get frustrated when it hasn't made like the leap that they wanted to see it make, or like they didn't get the feature that they wanted to get. By the way, those of you who have an issue with I'm not going to do rice farming. I don't care about an Asian map. Like, stop complaining about it. I'm super happy about an Asian map personally. I'm going to play it over the US one.
I haven't
Like,
made cereal since 2021.
really? Wow.
I never make cereal.
Just
Yeah,
just
so
To be
saying.
fair, to be perfectly honest, Kermit, I would have been like, I don't obviously care too much about what maps are included in base game. I mean, there's enough mod maps that end up coming out over time, anyways. But at the same time, I did not have any expectations for the Asian map personally. I look at the North American map, I'm like, that's probably the map I'm going to play.
right.
I
Same.
was really quite surprised at how much I liked the Asian map and the details that were put into it. I was caught off guard a little bit by it because I'm like, well, this hasn't been shown off, so I'm going to jump into this thing first thing. And I was not expecting it to be that good, to be perfectly honest. I was like, yeah, this could be a fun map. You got nice big flatlands down below. You got the big hills up on the edge,
Mhm.
big rice fields up on the sides. I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this.
Right.
It
Now I
almost
want to
feels
explore
like a
more
ma-
of it, though.
It almost feels like it's a map that's not made for farming simulator, but a map that just has some fields where you can farm. It's like an open world map where it's
Yeah, I
in a
mean, that
farming
temple,
game. Let's go ahead and
that
farm.
temple area, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that you can build. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I
awesome.
think, yeah, there will be, of course, modded maps that start coming out as well. But again, like, our maps have been steadily improving as well, and that goes back to the
Yeah.
feedback thing. Like, as a DJ, when we were at FarmCon this year, and we got Florian Bussa to come in and show or answer questions, like, he was absolutely fantastic about that, but also to DJ and others. He's like, I really do want to hear your feedback. Please, like, don't just tell me what you liked about it, but please tell me what you didn't like about it, because
Yeah.
that goes a long way. So, yeah, it's really is an effort, I think, internally for us, and it's part of my job, of course, to escalate this feedback, and we're going to keep getting even better at it. I'm super happy to be in the state we're at right now with Benny and the things that we're doing and changing.
I will say I've seen more people that have continued to play the base game maps, Farming Simulator 22, more so than anything in the past. Like, in Farming Simulator 17, for example, you didn't see a whole lot of people playing Goldcrest Valley there at the end, did you?
Nope.
Burping here. Got some Coca-Cola. Then you got, Farming Simulator 19, like Ravenport died so fast. And then
Yeah, it wasn't a popular map in my community. The North American side was not happy with the map, right?
No.
And then
but then you get to, and in previous games there was always like one of the two, the USA or the EU map was like the one that everybody played.
Yep.
But now in Farming Simulator 22, it's like, well, man, like Elm Creek is just killing it. Everybody's playing
awesome
it.
map.
Yeah, like Misty, who was at the event, she still plays Elm Creek, like, to this day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, and there's a couple smaller guys that I watch that are like, that's the map they play on still.
And Silver Run was really like a step forward with like adding in like the water and like the trees, having them render differently. Like, that was a big game changer for the technology behind that map to help us with 25. And like, people asked back then, like, hey, will we get constructible like farmhouses and things like that?
Yeah.
Now that's coming to 25. So it's always like
Interiors.
it's always like a natural evolution of, moving through the years and continuously trying to improve and get better. And I think this is this is just good advice for anybody. That's what you guys have done with your content. Like, you guys didn't start off in the position you are with successful channels. It took you time to build, and now as you've gotten through the years, like, you continue to improve and know what your audience wants. It's life, isn't it? Always trying to improve and learn.
Also, somebody just hit 300,000 subscribers. I just want to mention
Yeah,
that real
congratulations.
fast. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
eh?
yeah.
Let's show that off.
Yeah, just saying, no big deal. I'm not one
No
of them.
big deal.
Y'all are, though, so I appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching.
Congrats, brother. Kerm, I do have one question for you, actually. Speaking of which, since we're talking about progressing through the years, was there anything in Farmson 22 that the team at Giants said this is something we need to fix for sure going forward? Is something that didn't work that you're aware of that you can kind of share that you guys wanted to fix?
Not that I'm aware of in the gameplay, but those decisions I feel like would have taken place, more in a department that I don't take part in.
Yeah.
But I can say, like, we have definitely learned on the marketing side and knowing, like, self-publishing for the first time. Like, we've learned a lot of lessons on that side for sure.
Yeah, there's been some struggles over the last couple of years. I understand that, but it's all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fine. For me, like, this is the only job I've ever had in the gaming industry, so I don't really have anything to compare it to, but it goes back to that, just trying to strive to improve and do better. I can't think of any features, but of course there would have been things like I do know that, like, we wanted to make sure that 25 was, like, even better optimized because of some of the issues that maybe 22 could have had at launch. Things got better over time, but that Silver Run helped that. Like, optimizing the trees is a huge thing. And you can see that in 25, they're not, like, disappearing as quickly. You see a lot more lush, like, trees, even from a distance. Of course, depending on the power of your machine, you will see even more or less, but it's things like that. And for our developers, like, I remember the first time I got to meet a lot of people was at GDC. It was like the first event that was allowed, like, post COVID lockdown. And Nicholas and I had never met anyone from the company. We had never even met each other because I was still I hadn't relocated yet for the office. So they flew us out just for, like, one day and the night to go to, like, dinner and meet everyone. And some of the developers got me into, like, this Lua scripting for Halo Infinite multiplayer talk. And I was just like, my eyes were glazed over, but they were taking notes, like, for them, it is a learning process too. Like, they are super smart guys when it comes to the technical side of things, but even they are aware that you can always learn more, and you can learn from inspiration from other games and what have you. So it's just a constant
Also
process
funny
of getting
you
better.
say everybody was there watching watching stuff at GDC, and 2 years later Christian does a presentation with Farming Simulator at GDC.
Yeah, we've had multiple people speak at GDC as well. So it's like, Giants now is really, like, at a point where, because of the success of the series in the past, the company is really moving forward in a different direction. Of course, self-publishing is a part of that, but now with 25, it feels like an even bigger step forward. So the challenge, though, is always the better you do, the better you have to do next time, right?
Yeah.
So,
and then you've got PMR, Project Motor Racing. You've got publishing for that as well, which is going to be super cool.
I'm really excited to see where that takes the series, where that takes the engine itself, for
even if you're not
and stuff potential, right?
Yeah, even if you have no plans, if you're not a sim racing fan or a racing game fan, you have no plans to ever play that game, it's still a good thing for Farm Sim at the end of the day, because they are going to have it's like a fresh set of eyes on anything is always a good thing, right? Like, you could sit and edit a video for a day, but if someone else looks at it, they might see something that you didn't, things like that. So it's always good in these environments to have someone come in and say, oh, we figured out how to do this with your engine. And it may just be as simple as, like, we never needed to think about that before. So I do think that the work that they'll do within the Giants engine will be an improvement for the future versions of our game as well.
I was going to ask, none of this will impact FS25, I'm assuming.
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe later in, like, year 2 or something, maybe there's something that that changes it, but I would expect it more so to be, the next, like we always do with a new game, basically a new version of the engine, an updated version. So now we're on Giants Engine 10. So I would expect it to not move to 11 until, the next version of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We're on Giants Engine 9 for FS22, if anybody's curious.
right. So yeah, it's just, it'll bring great things. Like, and they're of course are working on their game and not working on Farming Simulator, but
Yeah.
they have almost like 2/3 the amount of employees that Giants does.
Oh,
So
wow.
just instantly that means, and they're not all developers, of course, but most of them are. So that means more hands in the Giants engine, which is always a good thing because they'll find some things. They'll have their own tools that they've used for this and that they'll translate to work with the Giants engine, and it'll make it better for everyone all around, in my opinion. So the future is bright. The future is bright for sure.
Yeah. And FS25 is not a reskin of 22. Knock it off.
Which wasn't a reskin of 19.
Right.
That's the funniest comment ever. Every time makes me laugh. I'm like, all right, whatever.
I mean, I get why people like it, but I don't know how you can expect like the game to ever like look like it's not like we
farming game.
Yeah, it's not like we can like if we had the Men in Black like memory eraser and then we could put a game out, like that's the only way it would work.
You mean
oh my god, here's a video game about farming. Like I get it why people are like, this looks like the last game. Yeah, it's farming, but like come on.
Forza fans be like, Forza 5 was the best one. I like them.
But yeah, I leave you guys to make those comments.
I've tried to explain like Farming Simulator. People have said, Farm Sim's not a simulation game anymore. It's an arcade game. It's like, yeah, because more people will be more interested in arcade style games than they will in simulation games. But guess what? You do mods or role play, and you can turn that game into a simulation game. Yeah. Why do you think so many arcade games are popular with realistic and role play crowds? Because they work better. Because simulation games mostly stink.
I just want to make sure I push. Like I personally push more for the simulation side of things, of course. Just have the options there. That's all. Right. So the bones will have that as an option. And I think we're there to some degree. I think we could use a little bit more at times, but I'm happy with it still.
And I'm perfectly fine and happy with it.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm a big fanboy. So there's that.
I think
so I'm just happy.
It is a delicate balance that we have to make, and like just not just the style that people play, but now the game growing like worldwide as well. Like,
yeah.
Is this the first base game where we don't have a brand new European map of Farm Sim like ever?
I think so. That sounds about right.
You have a Central European map.
It's not brand new,
though.
It's
Sri Lanka, but it's not. Yeah. I mean, it was the premium expansion map, so it's not brand new.
And then some kind of like Scottish, UK-ish map with the Highland cattle in the way background. Anything you want to say about the Year 1 DLC? So you say you don't know what I'm talking about, but you do know what I'm talking about.
God, you are the one saying these words.
Your mouth says no, but your eyes are saying yes right now, Kermit.
Right, but he's not smiling. I don't get it. He's so good at this. Mm-hmm. He's been through so much PR training; it's just ruined him.
But like the game is more popular than ever before. Like, what in the world is like an Asian map? What is that going to bring us and the community as well? Like, it's a really good problem to have that the game's growing, but a side effect of that is that it gets harder and harder to make each individual facet of the community 100% pleased, right? Like as more people play it needs wider appeal. That means less of like the hardcore and more of the arcade and casual. As it grows in other countries, it means that like maybe there's going to be a version where we don't have a US map in the beginning. As the game continues to grow, we have to come to expect that we have to reach more and more areas. It's a really good problem to have because it makes the game more successful, the company more successful. It brings more people into the community, which is good for YouTubers as well, like content creators. So it's all a positive thing. But yeah, when people say things like, I don't care about Asian farming. Well, the farming happens all over the world, and as it continues to grow, like we're gonna have maps all over the place, right?
And the only reason that anyone would be upset about something like that is because it's on an Asian style map or
Right.
East Asian. It's like cool, like that's fun. But I will also say that when I did the stuff with Volvo, we didn't know what the DLC was going to be. We just got to go play with stuff, and there was specific piece of equipment they wanted us to make sure that we filmed. And then when I found out it was a logging DLC, I was like, oh, this is not going to be popular. And I did a 10-part series because I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. And those 10 episodes are some of like the most watched Let's Plays on my channel. Silver Run Forest just took off. And as we have all said, I don't know if anyone said anything to the contrary of this, the Asian map looks so good. It's so detailed, highly detailed, so much different than anything we've seen before, and it's super exciting.
Right.
It's awesome. I'm so ready. Let's play
it. Yeah, you wish. Soon though. It's only like 2 weeks from.
Come on, man.
The time this airs,
just like send us a code and don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's not how this works.
It can work like this, though.
It's like you guys always joke about this, but at the end, you guys are so professional too. Like I probably shouldn't tell that to your viewers. It might ruin you guys, but
one of us at least.
And you guys also like you joke about this, but you know that you don't want me to get fired too at the end of the day. So
I love Kermit so much; he's so good at what he does. You really do go above and beyond. You don't pay us, but you go above and beyond.
We've cleared that up.
Yeah. Trust me, it'd be super cool if they did, but it is what it is.
I think this event was awesome for me too, because it reminded me of what's most important to me, and that's like the community, especially the English speaking community. Like, no offense to anyone else, but that's what I was hired for, to be like a natural English speaker. And we've really you build the community that you build is, I think, reflects on you a lot, and that's same for content creators too. So it's cool for me to look back and say I joined way too early in the cycle of 22 to really have much of an impact, although I did submit feedback about the sorghum being harvested wrong.
That changed pretty quick because it was harvested at the bottom. And
it was like taking the whole stalk.
You got to just take off the crop part, and like that was changed. And when you pull up to the
that
field,
was a cool feeling too.
The header up a little bit. But that was a big deal. I remember that. But
I feel so much more of an impact because I've had like the entire 3 years cycle of 25, and looking back on it, that's my job. I freaking love it, man. Like.
You were a content creator before you started working there, correct?
Yeah, I was a farming simulator ambassador. I did a stream with you two guys before you even knew who I was, I think.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
With Jockey.
And then soon after that, I was hired. I thought, I was like, man, this is a cool moment in with these two awesome YouTubers here. And I'm just like a nobody. And now I'm somebody.
That was definitely something we all shared because nobody knew who you were. I'm kidding.
No, like,
I'm so sorry.
No, to be honest, you didn't remember. You were like, that was you? Yeah, that was me.
No, I kind of remember a little bit of it. That's funny.
Yeah, I remember now. But yeah, at the time I was like, I don't know who this is.
No, it's fair. But I think I want people to remember that that I was in your shoes at one point.
Yeah.
And
which makes you overly qualified for what you're doing in certain parts of your job.
Yeah, for sure.
Working with content creators and making sure that we have the things that we need to do what we do, and then you kind of take it a step forward usually, and just really make sure that we've got everything that we need.
I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself and about the company professionally too. It definitely was honestly really difficult to be such a fan of the game and come in to an environment where it was like, we got to change. We got to change. I had this whole list, right? Like, we got to change all this stuff. We got to add all this stuff. And it was like, slow down, Kermit. We'll get there. Like, this isn't how this works. This is a process.
Not a sprint.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a marathon. But these last few years have been amazing, and seeing the impact that I'm making personally. Yeah, I'm not afraid to toot my own horn on that one. You're just smiling at the dog.
Enzo, what up, Enzo? What up, Puppy?
He's already gone. He's long gone already.
He's got a
So
sandwich. He's hiding it.
he's looking for sandwiches. So Kermit, any other aspiring North American content creators? What if they wanted to reach out and become part of the community? What should they do about that?
Just do it. Like I really get frustrated when people are like, "Hey, I'm okay." So I just put 4B and Matsy. Like they've been warned because they keep saying like sending me messages like, "Sorry to bug you." I'm like, if you're messaging me and I'm responding, it's during my work hours and it's about farm sim, you're never bugging me. But I feel like some people are like, well, you talk to DJ all the time. I'd like to talk to you. Okay, message me. You know why DJ talks to me all the time? Because he goes, hey, you got a minute?
I was going to say, to be fair, I message you a lot. And what nobody else tells you is I message Benny a lot. And I still message Chucky more than I should. Because I'm asking him things.
So maybe don't message us as much as DJ does, but find a happy medium somewhere in between, not saying anything and being go ahead.
Yeah. No, and also Dave from GPortal. So I messaged him a lot at one point.
Yeah, like I think content creation and things like that, like it's not an easy space, but like the English, like to see you guys at the event this past weekend and like, yeah, I've got footage. Your footage was corrupt. Yeah, I'll send you my footage. Like things like that. Like it's kind of rare that you have such a collaborative community like that. But I love seeing that from you guys. You're all supportive of each other. I remember like PAX East a few years ago when we were showing you guys the mobile game. FSG flew over from the UK, and Jababo was thinking about like switching and started doing some like YouTube stuff. And FSG just opened his laptop and showed him the analytics and like everything, gave him a crash course really on YouTube. It's really cool to see you guys do those things. But if anyone's interested in reaching out to me or becoming a Giants like partner or whatever it may be, like, yeah, just reach out. Like that's the best thing you can do is communicate. That's what makes these in-person events even better. Like seeing people face to face that you've talked to over the internet, all year, and being able to have them in an environment where you're right there in front of them has a different impact. But I think it's just, we're here for you guys. Yeah. Like I do have working hours. I'm supposed to only work 40 hours a week. I have a lovely wife who I love spending time with. So I don't want to work all day, every day. But even if you send me a message on DM, if I'm like on Discord, if I'm not busy and it's out of working hours, I'll reply to you. Or at worst, I'll wait until I'm back at work and then leave it unread and reply to you the next day so that I know that I need to follow up on it. So like, I'm there for you guys. That's all it is. Like, that's literally when people say, sorry to bug you, I've got a question about farm sim. Like that's literally my job. Like that's what I'm getting paid for. You're not bugging me. Like,
yeah. One of my favorites is when people hit me up. Now this is in no way comparison. I just want to say that because that's your job and it's what I do for job. Anyway, when people message me, at like, I don't know, 7 or 8 in the evening, obviously I'm sitting on the couch playing video games, chilling. And they'll be like, hey, I know you're really busy. And I'm like, I know I should be in bed right now, but I'm not busy. It just is what it is. Yeah.
I think that at the end of it, like my goal is to build a community and not just like sell the product to you guys. Like, yes, I'm a member of the marketing team at Giants, but for me, the community building is what really gives me strength. Like seeing you guys at that event and seeing the impact I've made for you guys on behalf of you, that is what brings me like so much joy. So the more people that we have and grow with, then the better, so just do it. It's as simple as that. Reach out to me if you need stuff. Benny as well. Like if you're a Giants partner, you have the partner Discord now. You have direct access to DM us or put a message in the chat for your level or whatever it may be. So like there's multiple ways you can get a hold of us, and you guys are as much of a part of the success of this series as we are at Giants. So it's important for us to be connected to you all. So
boom.
Awesome.
Clutchy Poo, anything else you want to add to that?
I think we've gone through the gamut of stuff that Kermit's going to feed us, at least at this point in time. As much as I'd like to poke him with a stick a few more times to see if I can get any more information out of him, I don't think it's going to work anywhere.
No. Are you poking me with the stick just because my name's Kermit? Is that the thing? Is that you picture him like a frog?
Maybe.
oh no! Give me a shoebox lid, just like a Family Guy.
I mean, you guys don't have long to wait now. I know it feels like an eternity. We gave you a taste of 25 and then pulled it out from under you and are making you wait now. But
I tried to put one of those computers in my carry-on. It didn't work.
2 weeks a day, you guys will both already have access, but you won't be able to put videos out until 2 weeks from when this airs on the 8th.
You said it. I don't have. Yeah. There it is. You said it. So I can tell people I have it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've confirmed it. Yeah, so yeah, we've sent it out to partners, and they'll be getting it throughout that week, and you'll start seeing some early access, and we've got exciting things that we're sending some of these guys to. Maybe these two guys on the stream with me get a package from us. I don't know. Do you think they deserved it?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah. Are you kidding me right now? Look, I got the one from last time right there.
I like that DJ's like, yeah, and Klutch was like,
yeah.
I don't know.
What if you see this little white box right there? That's got chopsticks in it. I had sushi on Monday. Do you know how hard it was not to open those up and use them and be like, wouldn't this be funny? And then eat the sushi with the chopsticks. But I didn't want to have to clean them.
Oh, I don't have it on this PC, but I was going through the photos from the event, and there was photos of both of you guys inside a tractor, and it was like yin and yang, because here's DJ like, and Klutch was like,
oh, was that when the photographer was taking pictures?
Yeah, the photographer.
Oh man, let me tell you what. Anytime that photographer got in front of me, I turned into Vanna White. I was just showcasing and leaning and doing that like that look, where you just sit.
Is that blue steel I just saw? Was that what that was? Yeah, of course it was. Brutal.
Well, thanks for letting me take over the show today.
Appreciate you having me here, Carm.
Yeah, and thanks for hanging out for 10 or 15 minutes like I'd requested.
Yeah, like I said, I know how to convert DJ Go Ham time.
We have been, I know the show's like an hour here, but we have been here for a solid 2 hours almost now.
That's all right. Again, literally, it's my job. Like, I'm getting paid to be here on the Farm Sim show, but that's not why I'm here. I appreciate the invitation, because I like getting the word out, and I know that you guys can say things all day long, but to hear it from the horse's mouth per se it goes a long way. So just wanted to kind of clear the air and just know that, hey, like, there was success that came out of that event. We already have seen it, so there'll be even more hype coming up, because you guys will see the game coming out very soon and all the early access. So
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be so much fun. And we were told we could release a 40-minute video that I recorded without permission.
Yeah, why not? The footage is well known at this point.
Yeah,
there's been hour-plus videos put out.
The big issue is I didn't re-upload the video, and so it now was just, I set it to private or public yesterday, and it just posted it 6 weeks ago where it was.
I was confused by that until you told me, because I saw Farmer Cops. His is at the top of his channel, and I was like, did DJ release his?
I am considering deleting it and re-uploading it this weekend.
Yeah.
Also, I have a 13-hour supercut that's rendering right now.
Wow.
I rendered it the first time. There was no audio. I don't know what happened.
So what, like, I know that we're going to wrap up soon, but like, what are you guys doing to wrap up your Farm Sim 22 stuff? You know,
I'm doing, because I'm already in the game plan of it. I don't know if you are, Klutch.
I am.
I've got 2 of the 3 series I'm doing. I have supercuts dropping actually a day or 2 after this video. Be doing top 10 videos the week after, right before. And then as soon as I get it for pre-release, like, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah,
so
that's.
If there's no mods, sorry.
That's pretty much mine as well. I just have to wrap up a couple of the 2 series, and then it'll be supercuts based on those. Yep. And then as soon as the new content comes out, as soon as Farm Sim 25 and pre-release is here, then all of a sudden you're not going to probably see me. I'll be a hermit in my studio here, and waiting for release.
Friday, right? And then it'll be all about 25 for the next few years. I I'm excited to see what you guys do with it. I'm excited to see what modders do with it, as always. And I really do feel that we're going to have some really strong DLC content coming out, and it'll be stuff that'll please a wide range of people. And we want to try to keep the momentum going for your sake and ours, throughout the cycle. So Benny and I are planning to bring back streams and do some special event type things here and there. Cool. And so, we're going to be looking at that as well on our end. And it's actually going to be nice for us to get past launch, Benny and I, because he joined right before Gamescom. And it's just been this like constant whirlwind of we're working together and we're having meetings, but like we don't have time outside of the stuff we're trying to prepare to get ready for launch to think about like the future. So once launch is here, we can think about next year and beyond what we're going to do, and some really cool stuff coming, not just in the game, but what we want to do to get the community together in person more often and things like that we're working on. So it's exciting times ahead for sure.
Sweet.
And as far as I know, the next thing, I know we're doing a big community meetup at Llama in January. So
and we might be doing something with PBR here in the US, in the Chicago area right before Llama as well. So if you're in driving distance to the Chicago area, or you just want to come, we'll be putting details out about that. I think it's like the 10th and 11th.
Professional bull riding, by the way.
Yes, thank you. So that maybe is something that we're going to do, because we've been doing, we've been working with them like for advertising and such for the 25 launch. And we already sent DJ and some others to events across the US. So.
Oh man, I never put out a vlog for that.
Too much
so
to
much
do,
footage.
Man. You did.
I don't have any intros or outros. I just have a bunch of videos. They're like, oh, there's the FarmSim logo. It's basically what I got this week. It was like I got an intro and then 2 minutes of B-roll.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. All right. Are we done?
I think we got everything done. I'm happy.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks again, Kermit.
You're welcome,
Kermit.
guys.
Kerminator 9000. L to the Kurt to the me to the toe. Senor Kerminator.
See you guys next time. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody be good. Be safe. How do we do the outro of this? We haven't done the show in like 2 months.
That's a really good question. How about we just do this?
Thank you to GPortal for sponsoring this episode of the Farm Sim Show podcast. They host premium game servers for Farming Simulator 22 that work on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Klutch and I have both been working with them for the past few years, and they have hosted our public and private game servers ever since. If you're looking for an easy way to play multiplayer with your friends, this is the best way to do it. GPortal servers allow you to have full control over your game, what mods are installed, permissions, and the game can be available 24/7. For Farm Sim 22, they've got a few different server options from 4 players all the way up to 16, and you can get an extra 25 gigabyte of mod space. Choose between 9 different server locations around the world to host your game, and you're ready to go. If you're interested in grabbing a game server for you and your friends, use the link for Klutch or myself at the top of the description and get 10% off all GPortal game servers right now. Again, thank you to GPortal for sponsoring this episode of the Farm Sim Show podcast. The